is Alex Wong. I graduated from Melbourne Uni in Australia, and I specialize in accounting and finance. I got my chartered practicing accounting in year 2002. In InTune, I run the business development segment. I'm also a certified partner accounting running with my wife. My wife is actually the other partner that runs the firm.
My name is Yong. I'm graduated with a corporate finance degree from University of Adelaide, Australia. My first job is with Ernst & Young, an accounting firm, for 5 years. Then I moved on to manage an internal audit department for an Australian listed company. I'm a member of Certified Practicing Accountant Australia and also a member of Malaysian Institute of Accountants. So in InTune, I am the managing partner. I take care of the sales, business development, and also overseeing the operations at InTune. So I've been a practicing accountant for the last 20 over years.
The company was started long time ago when I was still with KPMG. So during that time, I got a lot of friends who are having complication and stress when they run business. And most of their challenge is they cannot hire an accountant. So as a result, they always only hire maybe a clerk or an exec. A lot of time they have a lot of issues with their finance, payment, sometimes the money get lost, sometimes the accounts don't close in time, payment is not done in time. So that time when they wanted to hire me, then I was thinking, how are they going to pay me? Like if they were to hire me and I charge them 10,000 for SME, how can they afford me? So I went back and I think, and then one day I got this idea. This idea just popped up. If 5 of them combine, each one maybe pay me 3,000 a month, then I can serve 5 of them at one shot. I become like a HQ accountant to 5 of them. Then I can assemble a team to actually support them, and that's how InTune was formed. In terms of the company, our team structure is divided into sales and operation. So the sales is very simple. We serve our client by understanding their need, and then we provide them the solution. In terms of the operation, is divided into 2 segments currently. We have the finance, which take care of the day-to-day accounting for our client, from payment to preparing the financial statement. Another team that we have is doing the HR and payroll service to ensure that the day-to-day of the salary and remuneration, including compliance, are taken care of. As an accountant, as a service provider, we need to be able to sync along, tune into the processes of our client and customize. For example, maybe a manufacturing client would be very different from a trading client. So InTune means as a provider, we are tuning into their needs and requirements.
The vision of InTune is to be the leading finance and human resource outsourcing provider in Malaysia. In this vision, we want to create financially driven entrepreneurs and businesses who runs their business based on numbers, analytics in driving their business to their goals. The mission of InTune is to support every small medium enterprises becoming large by being their strong finance and HR pillars for their businesses. This means that we are providing them a team of knowledgeable professionals with strong processes and workflow to support them in their growth journey becoming large. There are 3 main types of services being provided at InTune. Number 1 is the finance, number 2 is the human resource, and number 3 is the consultancy. So in terms of finance, so what we do is that we do the everyday accounting and finance functions for our small medium enterprises clients, like preparing payments, even issuing invoice, official receipts, reconciling their sales collection on an everyday basis, up to giving them a financial dashboards and accounts every month, up to on a half-yearly basis to sit with them and review their financial dashboards, and at the end of the year to take care of their audit and taxes on their behalf. That's on the finance side. So the second type of service that we provide for our client is human resource related, which means we take care of their payroll. We make sure that the payrolls are calculated correctly, accurately, on time, and in compliance with all labor laws, EPF, SOCSO, etc. And then taking care of the leave for their staff and making sure that at year end, all the forms, all the compliance matters with Income Tax Office is complied with. So in terms of HR, we also assist our clients to issue HR-related letters, like when a new staff come on board, to give them the employment letter, when they confirm, and if there's any increase in salary, bonus, we help them out with all those pay.
Good evening, everybody. It has been a while since we last meet up. So what is going on this round? This round we are having InTune Freedom Series. What does it mean by Freedom Series? As you all know, InTune, we are here to support businesses to be free, business owners to be free. And good evening, everybody. My name is Alex. I'm one of the marketing director from InTune Business Services. So tonight we are very excited to bring you some of a series of our Freedom Series talk. We're going to talk from HR to accounts. And tonight we are going to be bringing in my fellow colleague. His name is Joseph. I will bring him in and let him introduce himself to you. Come on in, Joseph.
Hey guys, thank you, Alex. This is also my first time being on this channel, and I'm very excited myself. As what Alex has mentioned, we have a series, this SME Freedom Series, which we're going to talk about in detail. So today, specifically, we're going to focus a little bit on payroll, right? So again, payroll is something very large and also very small, depending on how you look at it, right? And then again, payroll comes in many aspects. It can just be calculation of payroll, but it could also bring about the smaller things, which is the ESS or the HRMS portion of things, where we talk about how an employee goes to apply their leaves, claims, and maybe even the calculations of time and attendance, which is correlated to payroll.
Let's talk about SME. Tonight we're going to talk about SME and what are some of their pain, as you meet over the years, some of the SME, and let's see how we can help them.
Yeah. Okay, I have a screen to share. Just give me a moment here. Let me pull that up.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So just before we begin, I just want to share a little bit of my own experience on how I see the SME industry in a big picture, right? So if I'm a business owner, of course, my day-to-day task would be increasing my revenue, increasing different sales channels, and of course, think of different marketing methods on how to fight the pandemic, the crashing market and the unstable economy that Malaysia is currently facing. But what is also affecting these business owners is just like what we have at our household, small things. Payroll is one of these pain, right? So feel free to, of course, put it in the chat of any other extra pains that I did not cover, because there's going to be a lot of different things that we're going to cover tonight, right? So I think before I begin, I also want to share about some of the most common pains, right? The most common pains that SME are facing currently. Number one, discrepancies. Discrepancies, again, is a very large word, but how this word is, is haunting some of our business owners, I think Alex can also relate, is inaccuracy of data, right? So when we talk about inaccuracy of data, we're going to talk about the expertise of employees. We also talk about the different way of calculation, and of course, the different tools that we use to calculate, right? So that's that. The other pain that SMEs are facing currently is also paperwork. Again, paperwork goes hand in hand with discrepancies, because businesses grow. SMEs in Malaysia grow. Okay, we are 90+% of SME here in Malaysia, and of course, as your business grow, the paperwork will also grow. I have some friends who also have their own businesses. They always think, you know what? It's just payroll, I can just get my friend or my girlfriend or maybe my mom to come in and calculate this. But as the business grow, it's not that simple. There's so for some of the smaller SME companies, they have grown from so small to increasingly large, and then they will get confused about how do I calculate payroll today versus 2,000 headcounts. I have only 5 now. What if it goes to 2,000? Is the calculation the same? Is everyone's payroll calculated the same or not? So we have that as well. Extremely painful. Okay. The other pain is retention. This is as real as it gets because, for example, an employee has been there for 8 or 9 years. He knows the business in and out on how to calculate payroll. But the moment he or she decides to leave, the business owner is then put into a spot where he has to decide how will he tackle this problem. Will he sit on it and will he calculate payroll himself, or we get someone to come in and calculate payroll? But that also brings in other problems such as training, time cost, level of commitment, which is also very real. The level of commitment of calculating payroll. It sounds really mundane, but it is really tedious. Okay, so we want to take all these things away.
To add on to that, I think a lot of the SME, they don't have a huge budget, so they can only hire one girl or one guy to do everything. So if it's a girl, even don't talk about vaccination, just talk about the fella out for COVID during month end, the whole world collapse on them. Or when some of the female staff that they have go on maternity leave for 2 or 3 months, that's where the pain becomes extremely real.
Yes. Some business owners, unfortunately, they force their executives to wear many hats. So the finance can be calculating payroll, or the HR can be calculating payroll. Hey, even maybe the admin, the front desk admin is calculating payroll. So we want to talk about some of these problems and how we can overcome and remedy some of these things. Okay. So we're going to combat this later. We're going to get into it. We're going to dive down deep into this so we can talk about this later as well. Another one more of the common pain, which is compliance. Compliance, again, in Malaysia is really important, especially in other countries, actually any country at all when it comes to payroll. So why compliance? Because I think compliance is it is something that takes years to learn, right? It takes years to learn. So no fresh grad executive is going to know about every single rule out there or every single updated rule. So being the expert in this field is also very important. And that's we're gonna go into how we can come in and talk about how we can help on this matter. Last but not least, of course, compliance goes again with expertise. So with these 5 things, I think business owners will have to think about on a daily basis on. It's going to be month end, it's going to be mid of the month. How do I calculate payroll, right? So, and then if they do not solve either one of these, it becomes a big bomb, okay? And then it's gonna jeopardize the whole entire salary disbursement and all that.
I'll add on a bit to that. I think most business owners, they are great at doing business. So when their staff have payroll issue, like they'll come and ask, hey, HITF, do we need to contribute, or I'm stuck in this calculation, public holiday, Sunday, how many times? And then when they ask the boss go like blank, like they don't really know. And a lot of time business owners spend endless hour trying to rectify or trying to find out information if the person that they hired, especially if they wear multi-hat, they are not specialists, so they don't really know into detail in terms of doing some of the work. And business owner actually invest a lot of time managing this pain.
Yes, precisely. So InTune, we do not aim to be generalist. We don't do everything. We need to do things that we're really good at. Okay, so we're going to talk about that later as well. I have 2 different case studies here that I want to share with you guys. So primarily this one, we're going to talk only about payroll, right? So I've known this manufacturing company for many years. They always think that it's good. They do not need payroll. Payroll can be done in-house, right? So this company has about 75 different headcounts. Okay, they are manufacturing semiconductor items. Okay, and the owner, Mr. V, is I've known him for many years as well. He is a very traditional man, so he believes in the old ways of doing things. Understandably, it is already 2022, right? So things change. If you don't change, you might end up to be left behind.
It's going to be obsolete.
You're gonna left behind, being obsolete. Yeah, that's the right word. Okay, so the issue is nobody, not just him, okay, was ready for a pandemic hit. So in 2020, maybe late 2019, 2020, he was being hit with the COVID, right? And he has an in-house manual Excel system, okay, which he used for calculation. That's not the worst part. The worst part is all the calculations for these 35 headcounts is being handled by one person. Okay, so for this one person, and she has been in the company for 15 years, Alex. Imagine 15 years being there, you know, in and out. But when it's time to go, it's time to go, right?
Yeah.
So, moreover, they already have, and then they thought by purchasing traditional offline non-cloud payroll software back in the days, it works. Okay, but that doesn't solve their problem. Why? It's because MCO came,
Yeah.
right? MCO came, and then we gotta sit at home. No one's allowed to go office, and then what happens? Nothing happens. The only thing that happens is for the employees is they are suffering. They're suffering
Yeah.
at home. They cannot get their pay. They're chasing their boss, calling HR 24/7. Okay, so that's really bad. Okay, so they get late payment of salary. That's one of the biggest problems. Second problem is they have to again revert to HR to produce EA forms, pay slips. Who does that anymore? Okay, true enough, there are many companies out there who will still do this. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'll leave that to you all to decide.
I
But if you
think all
ask
these
me,
are just they are spending a lot of time looking for paperwork or looking for
yes,
information, and I think in today's 2022, I think some of these could have been eliminated with just a snap of a finger lah. I think that's where all these things are.
exactly. So if I were, I mean, I joined InTune because I know that Alex has a very has many different processes and workflows, and he understands the pain of this. So before even I joined him, I was in the banking industry before this, so I understand. I've seen smaller SMEs. It could be just a chop shop, a mechanical shop, or it could be a pharmacy. It could be anything. But if you are still using the the old way of running your business, calculate your payroll using Excel sheet, if not then offline or non-cloud payroll software, this could also happen to you. You might not be affected so badly, but this could really happen to you. Excuse me. So something to think about, right? And of course, they also have non-existent backup for data. When I asked, so when we asked this business owner, when I asked, like, what is your backup plan? Oh, there's no backup plan. What do you mean no backup plan? Oh, everything's on the Excel sheet or on paper or on the system itself. So what if fire hits? He's not ready for that. He's not ready for that. No one's ready for that. Okay. So I think the other thing that he was already facing was also, of course, if you run it on a manual Excel sheet, you're gonna get human errors, data entry
Yeah.
errors, even maybe discrepancies in some of the calculations. No one can be perfect. I also get typo errors all the time. I get everybody gets this, and of course the manual payslip, the hard copy ones, they get misplaced, and then the staff had to revert back to the HR and ask again. So it's really, really, really tedious. It's
Yeah.
a back and forth game, and this will
And,
never
and
end.
yeah, and it also get very scary. Sometimes the manual payslip fall into the wrong hand, then people get to know
Oh
your
yeah, we don't
salary.
want that.
Or when they
Ye-
send out to multiple locations, sometimes we got lost in the transit. Then people get
yeah,
worried that their payslip can be used to apply loan and everything. So yeah, these are some of the.
exactly.
It's actually a nightmare sometimes. Yeah.
Can you imagine going to the bank to apply a loan, but you applied your leave to go to the bank to apply a loan on that very specific day, and you did not bring your hard copy payslip,
Yeah.
and then you had to
It,
U-turn, go back, and then get the receipt and go back. That's half a day gone for some people, like me.
eh,
Yes,
yeah.
so that would be half a day gone.
And I think to make the matter worse, nowadays after the pandemic, a lot of bank actually can accept via email. And if you are manual, you got to find a scanner and scan it in, or and then put it in, that kind of
Yeah,
thing. So it's yeah,
yeah. So why go through all that hassle? Really, why go through all the hassle when you can have everything on cloud? on your mobile device
Mm.
on the go, right? So we all want that. We got our handphones now, we've got our iPads, we've got all sort of mobile devices to keep our day running. We don't need. Tell me, when was the last time some of you people they are so good at writing, studied, it could be engineering, it could be IT like me, it could be finance or whatsoever. When was the last time some of you actually touched a pen?
Yeah.
I can tell you upfront, I haven't touched a pen for a long time. That's why Alex always laughs at my handwriting. But so many people laugh at my handwriting. So the thing is, like, everything is always e paper, e payslip, e everything, right? So I
Yeah.
think Mr. V understands that. Hey, something's gotta go, right? And I think Mr. V has already take a U-turn on this traditional offline non-cloud payroll software and even the manual Excel thing, and understands that maybe I should treat my HR admin who wears many hats, not just the front end, to do something else, to give her a better role. So this is how Mr. V has decided, and he has moved on with his business. So I'm also very happy for him. Okay.
Good job.
Yep. Okay. And then we have case number 2. So case number 2 is a little bit special, right? Case number 2, again, these people they've been around for a very long time. They have 22 headcounts, okay, in their law firm, right? So the owner, Mrs. Lee, okay, right? She has an issue when it comes to leave and claims. She also believes in a very traditional way of applying for leave and claims. Why? Because she needs to feel the paper. Funny, but she needs to feel and see the paper. Trust me, some people are like this. My own parents, maybe they like to see paper. They're not software literate like that. But even so, she faced some of the problems. So, for example, there was a fire in her office, okay, and that devastated her business terribly. Why? Okay, so imagine in as a business owner, right, Alex? As a business, imagine if a fire hits your office. Touch wood, that would never happen because I
It's
love
a
our office.
nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare.
But when the fire hits, right? When the fire hits your office, Alex, what's the first thing you would do? You think
I
about your
would probably look for the most valuable thing and then focus on the
Exactly.
business. Yeah.
Because you are the business owner, you would think like, okay, you know what? I gotta grab the desktops, the laptops, all those kind of things, and get the heck out of there. Because why? Because they're very expensive in inventory. However, some other business owners, like it's very a law firm, a lot of signatory things, a lot of stuff. So they'll grab the contracts and the stuff like that and get out there. And what happens to the leave and claim forms? Burn. So the employees suffer, right? So
Yeah.
imagine if I can imagine if I'm an employee over there, oh man, I'll be crying.
And I think it would be worse if the employee didn't make a copy of the claim form.
Oh yeah. Who would think of that, right?
Yeah.
In our hustling and bustling days, Monday to Friday, who would think about, okay, you know what? I apply my leave now. Okay, I go photo step one more, I keep my bag. I bring home. Nobody does that. Right? Nobody does that. I wouldn't think of that. But yeah, thank you for bringing it up. Who does that? It's so strange. And then maybe the boss will say, hey Joseph, why are you doing this? Why are you reprinting that what you've just submitted? I will charge you for 10 cents. So you will not do that.
So
Right.
I think that's where the paperwork get piles up, lor.
Exactly. It piles up, it gets misplaced, or it gets destroyed by fire like like this. So
Yeah.
so that thing happened to them, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to the month-end closing, when they have to recover about 2 weeks or so, they're just sitting there and they're thinking, how am I going to close my accounts? How? Alex, I don't think you can. You got to ask. You got to ask again, guys, who applied claims? Everybody going to say, yes, I did. You approved. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's definitely gonna be a
Total
nightmare.
nightmare, right?
Yeah.
So not just claims, leaves and all these things. So no, you can't tally, and when you can't tally with this, it again claims and payroll is calculated into into your payroll calculations, added into your payroll calculations for some businesses. So too bad. Maybe the guy don't get the salary at the end of the month, even just like that. Okay. So the result was late claim reimbursement, late approvals for leaves, and of course, no one's going to be happy, right? So some of the staffs also not just find it tough before the fire, right? Some of staffs are finding it tough. Hey, how much leaves I have today? How much leaves I have today? How much claims I have to do? How much claims am I entitled to? Maybe I ask the HR. So as a HR person, your handphone is the most important thing, right? But no, you get calls from your staff. Hey, hi, what is my leaves? Can you just check for me? Yeah. Wait first. I check for the other 6 more people in front of you first. Cannot, right? Every day the person gets bombarded with these questions. So I
And,
think again,
and also they spend a lot of time. Like there was one client that I do, because they have limit, like medical, they only limit every time 30 ringgit per month or 200 per year. So every time she has to keep record of every staff. Luckily this one
oh,
only 22. Can you imagine if they run a
yeah,
50? So it's pile and pile of paper, and sometimes she will forget, this fella got medical claim, I forgot
oh
to add.
yeah.
Then overpaid already, then have to go and ask the staff or deduct the salary to get
Oh
it
man,
back.
the clawback, right?
Yeah, so it is all the nightmare and all the drama and drama that's happening. So sometimes I really
Yeah.
pity the HR department for having have to go through this, and then they complain to the boss. And sometimes, to make matter worse, HR is usually run by a family member of a SME. So it creates argument between the bosses and their family
Oh
member. These are all the real
yeah.
pain, that a lot of the SME that I spoke to have on this.
Exactly, precisely. So I think as an SME business owner, you really have to really think this through. Like, how am I going to optimize my business without affecting my staff internally? So the thing is, everybody always think cost, right? Cost. Okay, if I do everything in house, I control the cost. But the real question lies in how much of control do you actually have? You don't, because you know why? As a HR exec that steps in today, hi, I'd like to apply for this job. I get the job, I sit down, I process payroll, I process leave, I process claims. But you know what? Just maybe I see the grass is greener on the other side. I want to leave. And then the boss will have then to deal with retention problems.
Yeah,
And training is one cost again, as I mentioned earlier.
correct.
Uh, all these costs are, that's so you cannot control the cost. You can say that I don't know, maybe it's cheap. I hire this person cheap. But like the Cantonese saying, 一针田一针货 lah. You buy something cheap, then you get something cheap.
So I actually remember one of our client, when the girl left, right? The other girl that came in, he took a month just to understand her Excel sheet. Like I cannot figure out how this fella punch here will become overtime and become here, and then
Yeah,
how this link to that page and then print out the pay slip. So it's one whole month just to understand one Excel sheet, and then she has to take
yeah,
another month trying to figure out how does the leave system is being updated, manual, this file put where, this staff file put where, and try. It's like a nightmare, lah, basically.
it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. I cannot imagine I have not owned a business yet. Maybe someday I will. Thank you. But I
Please
will
don't
not
go through
have
this
this
drama.
in my
Yeah,
house. I will not
yeah,
have this in my house because I can't imagine. Oh, every day my staff leaving. I have to Okay, have you ever heard of businesses that because the staff leaving, they counter offer, they have to make the person as happy as possible. And then what control of course do you have? You have zero control. In fact, the person control you. So I think
correct,
as
correct.
owners, we have to really take a sit back and look at this from a big picture perspective and understand that no, I need to eliminate this problem, right? So
Yeah,
again, Mrs. L, she sees this as like, hey, you know what? Can't do this. I like manual, I like in-house because you know what? I see my staff. I know the person is working, right? Some
yeah,
business owners thinking like that, like I want to
yeah.
see the person working. Then only I know that okay, my payroll calculated.
So I think
But
that's when a lot of SME are very people reliant. They don't put focus on the system, and I think also sometimes SME think the system are very expensive, so they have a
yes,
belief that your audit system is quite very expensive. I rather than invest on it, I just do manual lah, since manpower is so much cheaper. I
yeah,
think that's also one of the limiting belief that some of our SME
mhm,
owner have. And
yep,
I remember recently we were engaged by a big corporation to do their payroll. One of the key thing that maybe the six, if I could add one more, is confidentiality. In a lot of SME firm, SME company, because they hire payroll staff, sometimes they go lunch, they capo a bit, then the information about the payroll get leaked out, and then everybody knows everybody's pay, or this person know that person get how much bonus, and it is
Oh
that
yeah,
lack of confidentiality also create a lot of distrust and fear within the SME itself.
it's a big boo boo. It's
Yeah,
really a big boo boo. I mean, it could happen to anybody, any business, anytime, any given where, right?
yeah,
So also, one more thing I like to add is when we talk about cost, right? See, cost is such a huge word, but human resource is also a cost, and it is the most expensive cost. Humans are the most expensive cost. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So I think invent like a software or even a service is still not as expensive as paying a human to
Yes,
do that.
and there's
Okay.
also a lot of hidden costs. Like sometimes our client never think about the amount of time they spend checking on the payroll clerk's
Yeah.
work, ensuring accuracy, or when the payroll staff is struggling with certain thing, they spend hours and hours,
Mhm.
looking at it, and those are the costs they cannot see on top of the maybe just the payroll clerk cost lah. I think that's
Yep.
where you will add on to all these overall costs.
Correct, correct. So I think, and then I think the other problem Mrs. L faced at the time was also because the overlapping of things being requested by the staffs towards the HR personnel. Again, nobody wants to stay in that environment, and when that person leaves, it brings again retention problems. So it's like an endless loop. It's like an
Yeah,
endless loop that SMEs are facing. Some of our clients or prospects that we have met, they do not agree with us at first, but when they feel it over the months and they look back and they understand, hey, I know it is a gamble. Again, it's always a gamble to asking another third party to entrust upon them your payroll information, your staff's IC numbers, right? IC numbers, bank details, and whatnot. So yes, it is a lot to trust, but once they see the fruit that they have planted there grow, they realize that, okay, you know what, I can put that aside and focus on my business. Look, the pandemic hit me bad. I want to grow. I want to get back on my 2 feet and start walking, socks up and start walking. So it's not like, oh my god, okay, now the business open up again, right, Alex? Business open up
yeah.
again. Let me look back at all the processes I have in place and then think like, do I need to start from ground zero? Check my employees, everyone okay, happy, and then only
Yeah.
other go chase business? Cannot,
And I
right?
think that's why InTune was formed. If you see the video at the beginning before the talk start, is that's our vision actually to support SME becoming large. They focus on what they do best, leave the back end to us. So we can take care of their accounts and their HR in terms of payroll and all these things, so
Mm.
that they know they can, and we can scale with them as their company grow big. Even like this law firm 22, they go to 50, they don't need to worry about hiring, the retention pain. People go on medical leave, people go on annual leave, people staff turnover. We have a team of staff that serve them like a HQ. So when we have HQ and we have a lot of our clients is like our subsidiary, then we have the extra fat. So if you ask a typical SME to hire 2 person just to be a backup for in case one person go on leave, that alone make it very expensive, and that alone make us look very affordable. So generally, yeah, they will look at a minimum 40% cost saving, and they will save more on spending time to rehire, because that
Mhm.
alone take up a lot of their mandate. And sometimes business owners don't think about this. They got enough on their head, like what you say, I want to focus to grow the business now. Oh my god, this girl left, I need to hire another girl. How the hell am I going to post to job street? I
Yeah,
hire this person didn't come in. How am I going to do this payroll at month end, and trying to figure
yeah.
out their Excel sheet? I think it's going to be a double whammy lah.
Not double, quadruple, and even more. It's an endless loop. It will never end
Oh,
because
oh,
because again, humans are very unpredictable. We have errors
correct,
all the time. I can
correct,
type
correct,
A today, type S tomorrow, and D maybe next week. I don't know, right?
correct, correct.
So yeah, I
I
think
think
the
that's where we can talk about some of our solutions and how we can support SME from a starter package maybe to a medium package and to a large package.
sure. So that brings about end to both our case studies here. Maybe I just want to pass the time back to Alex to talk about some of the other packages and things that we can share. And how we plan to come in and help some of our SMEs. Or if you have any questions, drop it in the comments and we can answer some of them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of solutions that we have, we can support the SME number one, even if they don't engage us first. If they are small enough and they maybe 2 or 3 or 4 person, they think that they can cope within, they can actually get an online software from us. So in that sense, everything is kept online. So as they even if the pandemic hit again, or anywhere in the world, they have multiple locations, they can then access the system anytime, everywhere. So I think one of the key things that when we look for a system is something that the employee can self-service. Means if suddenly today I want to apply loan, I don't have to go and bug the HR. I just need to log on the system like my email, and then I go and retrieve. And also in terms of company, if they have memos or important information, like they selected public holiday. Sometimes people cannot remember. Again, they just log in, and then they can download the handbook or have a view at the handbook, have a view at some of the important memo. So that number one, take away the paper part. Number two, allow more seamless access of information. So
Yep.
that will be one package, the small package that usually we can offer to our clients. Yeah. So if they want, they can start with that. And as they grow bigger, they feel that okay, I 20 people already, I cannot cope. I don't want to have this headache of payroll person, or when their payroll person leave, because they already subscribe the system from us, we can straight away onboard we can straight away take over and onboard them. So we have some staff, even though they're in-house, when they have issues, they can actually call us for interim support. And bridging over, when they become bigger, they decided, okay, guess what? I'm just going to outsource everything to InTune. You guys take care of this headache for me, so that I can then focus on the front end. I think that's where we have the medium package. That's where we can work with them. And as they grow bigger, that's where we do expansion. Like some of our clients have 7 or 8 outlets, different people everywhere. How do they even key in their timesheet? And we have all these timesheet solution. And we also have all this online claim solution where the staff can actually submit their claim anywhere, everywhere in the world, as long as they have a handphone. So our solution is cloud-based. They are both app-based as well as web-based. And I mean, Joseph, you can maybe tell that indicatively, roughly from the smaller, let's say a SME of 10%, if they take the most basic medium package from us, how much would it roughly cost them?
Right. So for just about 10 people, okay, the charges will ballpark figure charges you're looking at about 650.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and with 650, you get the whole lot. So that's why I always tell business owner that they don't even need to invest in software. We team the software for them.
Yep.
You don't have a girl that take up a space in your office. We would not ask for annual leave. We don't ask for maternity leave. Even COVID, we work through the COVID. We have backup staff. We don't ask for bonus. We don't ask for company trip. So in a way, that amount 650, I think today, I don't know who you can get. How rare in the world you can get someone that can do payroll for 650 with
You
the
can.
software.
You can with InTune. You have the girl on your phone and your web.
Yeah.
They
I,
will
I
never
think
ask you
I
for a
think
trip.
that's where we are able to offer solution in a affordable manner, and it's holistic. So they don't need to worry about subscribing to software, how much it costs and everything. They subscribe, we take care of both the hardware, the software, and the manpower. So it straight away take up a lot of the pain about backup. You don't need to worry about backup. We have online 24/7 immediate backup kind of thing. Even on the day where suddenly no power failure, you don't need to worry. Everything is already on the
Oh
cloud.
yeah, that
So
trouble
you will not have
yesterday.
lost data halfway through, or I'm keying in all my maybe you lose 1 minute worth of data, but the rest, because it's cloud-based, is immediately captured in the cloud.
Yeah.
So that saves a lot of the dramas that we have.
Yeah, so I think Alex brought about a really, really real thing. Like yesterday itself, I was working at home. Power went out. I was whining. Yes, I was. Okay, imagine if I'm calculating payroll and then I have to answer to my boss, sorry, calculating payroll on Excel sheet. No power, everything gone. Can you pay my salary early but pay the rest later?
Yeah,
Cannot, right? See, so you
yeah,
need this. Ladies
yeah,
and gentlemen, you really need this, or you need to, or if I don't want to say you need this now, but you need to look at this problem and ask
Correct.
yourself honestly, do I want to see my staff get into a hot soup because no power at the office, at home, or anywhere? So yes, this cloud technology again is extremely robust. Everything's on the go, right? As what Alex said, it's on iOS, it's on iOS. It is also on Google Play Store. It
Yeah.
works well with the tablet. It also works well with your mobile device.
Yeah.
For some of you who have not heard of the system, it's actually called Payban. We are partners with them. Uh, if you do want a demo for this, you can also write in chat, and then maybe message the group.
Just type demo in the comment, and then
I will
Joseph
reach
will
out
be
to
able
you.
to reach out to you and give you a demo. Of course, besides Paybuy, we also have other options for those larger companies. We have iPayroll, which also has been around for a longer time. So
Yeah.
again, we always have two options for our client depending on their budget needs and requirement. And maybe Joseph, we can tell them how do we offer a check? Maybe how do we do this? Maybe how do we approach some
Okay.
of our clients who needed a health check from
Right.
us?
Right. So many businesses do not know the state of their business processes internally today. Okay. When we ask them like, how's your business doing? They can only tell you in revenue. But if you take a deeper check, just like you go see a doctor asks you how are you, you say good. But does it really come I check? Then he start taking the microscope, the pressure check and all that kind of thing. I think I can't remember what's the thing that you listen to the heart,
Stethoscope, I think.
yeah,
Stethoscope.
yeah. So but when you check with this kind of things, then you realize that, dude, you have a lot of problems. Like, Mister, you have a lot of problems. So that's where this health check comes in. We come in to tell you and give you a grade and a rating to tell you what rating are you. So like we can tell you are rating A, B, C,
It's
God
like a
forbid
medical
F.
report, lah. You get a
It's
medical
like a
report
medical
from
report.
us.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
sometimes I always tell my team we are both an accounting doctor and a HR doctor. We are there to because
yeah,
our client got number problem, either in finance or payroll, they come and look for us, and that's where the first thing we need to do before we give any medication is actually to do a
yeah,
diagnostic. So after
yeah.
we know, then we will dispense whether you need Payban, iPayroll, QuickBook, or Zero, and I think that's where we help our clients lah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not a salesman. I'm not a salesman. I'm a doctor, like what Alex has just said. I'm what we call. I like to tell Alex this. I like to tell Alex that I'm an expectations manager because I want to help my clients meet their expectations. That's all I'm doing. Okay, guys. Like, that's all I'm doing. That's all Alex is doing. That's all InTune is doing to help you guys meet your expectations. Because again, everyone wants to see their business fly. Now that MCO has been lifted, 2022 so far actually has been a pretty up and down year, but so far it's going
Choppy,
up
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Hopefully our market can stay stable. USD don't come and haunt us again. And yeah, so it is a time to again relook at all this. Also, I think I like to think of InTune as why some of our clients choose us is we are like a mini BPO. Okay, they outsource their business processes to us. So it's BPO stands for business process outsourcing, in case some of you do not know. So we're like a mini BPO. We help them to help their business. We don't just help the boss, we help them to help their business. We take away some of these back end things, handle these things for them so that they can just continue doing what they're doing. Okay. So that's all we are doing. So I think again, interesting, right? To look at this from a big picture. If you want us to be a doctor, sit down with you. We have two different ones here. We have one for payroll, which I like to call a payroll health check, and the other is finance health check. So we got two
Yep.
different ones.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
if you
just
do
let
a
us know.
FHC for finance health check, then of course, then we will get the doctor. Like you go to a medical screening, there's an X-ray and there's the years one, so it's different. So if you're looking for finance health check, you can put a hash FSC, or if
Yeah.
you're looking for a payroll health check, you can put a hash PHC. And again, there's no charges involved and it's obligation free. Even you get the medical report, you can choose to do something about it or you can choose not to do something about it. I think the
Yeah.
whole point is to be able to know where the business is. I think that's where we want to serve the SME lah. And I think that's where we call the company InTune, because we are actually tuning into the company or the clients that we serve, and we also help them to tune up. tune up
Yeah.
their business so that they can become large. Okay.
I think also, Alex. Sorry, we're just being aware of time.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe we'll save it for the next session. We have more on the next
Yep.
session. We can share with you, right?
Okay. Okay. So I think any last word for our clients, or for our listener out there in terms of the pain and the kind of solutions that we have. Any last word from you, Joseph, before we wrap it up?
Yeah. So I think just a takeaway for some of you who are watching, right? I think we all really want to know why our business is not growing, right? And this could be it. This could be it because just like our parents like to tell us, if you're not striving, if you're not excelling in your work, on your what, take a good look at yourself. So I think again, now that the market has opened up, take a good look at yourself. Are you optimizing at your best capability? If you're not sure, come and find us.
Yep. Thank you for that. And for me to sum up, and I always tell SME owner out there, you're not alone, and we understand some of your pain. Come to us. We can help you out and take away some of your Panadol and eat the Panadol for you. And whatever you think is expensive or is hard, come and then try us out and then see whether it works for you or not. Anyway, because we are not a staff that we are binded forever. You can always serve us a quick notice if things doesn't work out, and we are scalable with you. And I think this is a message that we want SME owner to know. So if you need anything, come and talk to us. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll put an outgoing video. Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye.
InTune Outsourcing is providing you a full scope of accounting from A to Z, exactly like an accounting department with a CFO, but not based in your office. InTune enters supplier invoices into accounts payable and do reconciliation with suppliers to make sure that our records are correct. InTune also processes payments to suppliers, staff, and expenses, updating sales invoices into accounts receivable, including collection received, providing statement of accounts to clients so that they can collect and chase money from their customers, providing the financial reports, including but not limited to profit and loss, balance sheets, cash flow, debtors and creditors aging, advisory and financial coaching, including presentation of accounts, highlighting key areas and key analytics to improve and grow clients' businesses. At the year end, we represent our clients to work with their auditors and tax agents for compliance matters. InTune also represent our clients to deal with different bodies and agencies such as Income Tax Office, Customs Department, EPF, SOCSO, and other authorities for matters relating to finance, business, and HR. So if you're still facing accounting problems, you'll need a professional like InTune to help you. Well, get InTune to fine-tune your decisions.